Hello and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition level 2, the blue book, and today we're going to start with the unit 14. As always, we start with the vocabulary or the language summary for this lesson. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with some nouns. Okay, we have body language. The body language is basically all of the things that you're saying without using your mouth. It's all of the things that your body is expressing. For example, by looking at this person, you can know that he is confused, or that by looking at this one, you can know that he is stressed. And this is because of the body language. His body is in a way or in a position, in a way of being that lets you know how are these people feeling. For example, this one is maybe serious or afraid. She is calmed. She is confident. He is nervous and she is wary or scared, something like that. Okay, we have garbage can. This is a garbage can. These are garbage cans. You put trash in here. Gestures. Gestures, all the different movements or different things that you can say with your body. This is done with the body language is done without you thinking about it. You are just it's how your body express itself. But with gestures, you use your body in you wanting to do it, and then you give some expressions. For example, if you do this and you also then that means to keep it quiet or shut up. And this is a good expression, like saying that's okay, it's like. And those are different gestures. We have lane. It's a division of a road marked off with painted lines and intended to separate single lines of traffic according to speed or direction. These are lanes. For example, this is a lane and this is a lane. We drive cars on the lanes. We have nails. Nail have two different meanings. Nails are this. You use it to put things on the wall, or these are your nails. It's the same for both of them. Obligation. The definition of obligation. It's the requirement to do what law, promise, or contract imposes. A duty. In its general sorry, in its general and most extensive sense, obligation is synonymous with duty. In a more technical meaning, it is a tie which binds us to pay or to do something agreeable to the laws and customs of the country in which the obligation is made. In other words, when you see an obligation, it's something that you have to do it yes or yes. You have no talent. You cannot give your opinion, or it's like, oh, I want to do it. No, don't want to do it. No, it is an obligation. An example of this are the laws of a country. Maybe in a country, you cannot kill or steal anything from anybody. So it is an obligation to follow that rule, and so you can never kill someone. And if you do, you're gonna have bad consequences. Those are obligations. Another example is when you live with your mother and she tells you that you need to clean the floor. That is an obligation. If you don't do it, you're gonna have bad problems. I, for real, people, obey your mothers because or else you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, permission. Permission it's when you talk or you ask another person, usually someone with that have like it's more important in some ways. Like it can be your parents, it can be police officers, it can be a president. Example, to when you ask them to do something, whether or not if you can do something. It's like when you're a child and you want to play games, so you ask your mother, "Hey, can I play video games or something?" And she said yes. So you have the permission to do so. Prohibition. Prohibition is the opposite of permission. When you have a permit, when you have the permission, it's that you can do it, and the prohibition is that you cannot do it. It's also like the opposite of obligation. It's that you are obligated not to do something. For example, in a place you can have a prohibition to don't have any cameras, or you cannot ride, or you cannot hunt. It is forbidden, you cannot do something if it's prohibited. Regulations. Regulations are different types of law that basically changes how much or how can you do different things. For example, it is not illegal to sell a beer, for example, drinks, alcohol. It is not illegal, but there are some regulations about it. You cannot just start selling everything as your own leisure because that is prohibited. In order to sell alcohol, there are some regulations that tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to have this certificate, etc., etc., etc. Regulations are that. It's that they let you do some things, but you need to comply with the requirements that they have. We have rules. Rules are statements, or they are different types of what's the word for that? Things to do in order to be in a society. Maybe in a society, it's like what I was saying before. You cannot kill anybody. That is a rule because, or else the society will fall down, and that we would don't want that. We have rules to follow them. Okay, we have a sailor. Sailors are the people that drive or sail boats. So sorry, it's not drive, it's sail boats. That's why they are sailors. They sail boats in the water, in the ocean. Seat belt. Those are the belt for the seats. They keep you from harm. Speed limit. This is the maximum velocity that you can be in a lane, in a highway. Maybe the speed limit is 65 kilometers per hour, or maybe more, maybe less. Depends. Stairs. These are stairs. Trash. This is trash. Thumbs up. Well, this right here, this part of your hand, it's called a thumb. And if you put it up, then it's thumbs up. And it's usually used when you want to agree with someone or something. It's like, hey, can I do that? And you show a thumbs up, and they will know that you agree. Let's see some adjectives. Annoyed. She is really annoyed. When you're annoyed, it's like something is bothering you. You want someone to stop doing what they are doing. Bored. When you're bored, you're almost falling asleep. What you're seeing, what you're playing, what you're doing, it's really, really boring. You don't like to do it. It's like meh. Like for some people, homework is boring, and they feel bored when doing homework. Broke. It's what I am. I mean, broke is when you have no money, not even a single dollar, not even a single peso, nothing. It's just no money. Confused. What I am when doing math. Okay. If confused is when you are not understanding something, you have problems to catch up. You are like, what is going on here? Maybe when we're getting to some complicated grammar, you feel confused and you need to watch the video again or something like that. Disgusted. When you're disgusted is when you see something that is really like, ew, horrible. You don't want to see that. For example, if someone is looking like this, if someone is looking at you like this, you should check if you took a bath today. Embarrassed. When you're embarrassed is when you're feeling like don't want to be seen, don't want people be looking at you because of something that you did. Maybe you wrote a song or you were recording a video, and then when someone else is watching it, you feel like, no, don't watch it. I don't want to see it. I don't want you to see it. That is feeling embarrassed. It's like being shy. Exhausted. When you do a lot of things, and you have no more energy, you say that you're exhausted and you need to, take a rest. Flushed. Of a person's skin, red and hot, typically as the result of illness or a strong emotion. When you're talking with your crush, that you feel like, oh my god, he's my crush, and then your face comes red. That's called flushed. When you flush, is when you are like feeling either by illness, because remember, if you get the flu, then your face goes red, and that's illness. Or if you're having a strong emotion, then your face also comes red, and it's called flushed. Frustrated. This girl really is frustrated. Oh my god. When you're trying to do something and you try again and again and again and again and it doesn't work, then you feel frustrated. Heart shaped. Shaped like the conventional representation of a heart, with two equal curves meeting at the point at the bottom and the cusp at the top. Okay, basically something that has the shape that looks like a heart. This type of heart. Because hearts are not like that, but you would know. Okay? Irritated. When you're irritated, is similar to being annoyed. But when you're irritated, you're a little bit angrier. Because it's like someone is doing something exactly made to make you feel irritated, to make you feel bad, like, that is irritated. Late. When you're late, it's when you were supposed to be at a time, but you come after that time. That way, you're late. If you need to be there at 8 a.m. and you're at 8:30, you're late. Nervous. When you're nervous is when you're anticipating the future a lot and you don't know what to expect about it. Polite. When you're polite is when you have manners. You're behaving in a good way. Reserved is slow to reveal emotion or opinions, kept especially for a particular person. Someone that is reserved is someone that doesn't want to tell a lot of things about them. They prefer being, quiet and not telling a lot about them. Also, you can have something reserved, and it means that no one else can use it until the person that is reserved for comes. Okay. Rude, offensively impolite or bad manner. Rude is the opposite of polite. If you act in a good way, then you're polite, and if you act in a bad way, then you're rude. For example, she's being rude with her. Let's see some verbs. Argue. In some Spanish-speaking students, they usually think of discussion as argue. It means like when they have a discussion, they are talking like, oh, they are talking in a really bad way, but it is not like that. In English, discussion or to discuss is to treat topics in a good way, talking about their opinions, taking their times, and it's all good. But when a discussion is becoming more heated and they start to say bad things about the other person in a bad way or start being rude, that becomes an argue. When you're arguing, it's when you're talking in a bad way, discussing about a topic. It's like, no, this is not true because you're dumb, etc. That is argue. Bite. This is a bite. This dog is biting. It's the action of taking your mouth or a mouth and using your teeth to clamp the thing that you want to bite. It's basically using your mouth. And you can have a mosquito bite or a dog bite. Oh my god, he's so cute. Break. This pencil was okay, but now it's broken. To break is to disassemble in some way. Clap. This is a clap. That was clapping. That's the sound that you produce with your hands. Exist. To live or to live in difficult conditions. When you exist is when you are part of this reality. Okay? Very good. I hope that you understand that. If you're not existing, well, that's hard. Fasten. To fasten is to put things on inside a way. For example, you can fasten your seatbelt, and then you put it on you. You can also fasten a sword, and it's when you put it on the on the thing that you carry it. Nod. To move your head down and then up, sometimes several times, especially to show agreement, approval, or greeting, or to show something. When you nod, it's when you're saying yes with your head. Park. To put a vehicle in a place where it can stay for a period of time, usually while you leave it. This is to park, in a parking lot. Pull out. When you pull out something, it's when you're holding it out. Oh my god. But yeah, it's something that it's in and you take it out by holding, using your arms to put it back. Raise. When you're raised, you are put it in the air. Roll. To cause something to move somewhere by turning over and over from side to side. You know this movement, like it's going like a circle? That is rolling, rolling over. Scratch. To cut or damage a surface or your skin slightly with or on something sharp or rough. Basically, when you are itchy, that some a part in your skin, it's like really, it's you really need to touch it with your hands. So instead of in order to stop the itchiness, then you scratch it. It's what she's doing, like that is a scratching. A scream. That is when you scream. You use your voice to make a really loud sound. I will not scream. It will not be good. Tap. To hit something gently and often repeatedly, especially making short, sharp noises. When they touch your shoulder like this, that is tapping. Or you can do it with a pencil in your notebook. That is tapping. Turn off. Something is on and you turn it off. Wink. When you wink is when you only close one of your eyes in order to give a message to another person. Okay, let's see some adverbs. Absolutely. I'm absolutely fine. Absolutely means 100%. Yes or yes, everything. Definitely. It is similar to absolutely. Sorry, I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely not fake. When you use definitely, it means something that is 100% sure. Yes or yes. Maybe, perhaps, possibly. When you use maybe or perhaps, both of them mean the same thing, is used to express uncertainty or possibility. It's like it is possible to happen. Usually, perhaps is a bit more formal than maybe, but they mean the same thing. Perhaps it is the file which exists and you that does not. Oh my god, this is. Oh wow. Possibly. Strike me down and I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. When you use possibly, it's for a possibility. Quickly is for, being quick. Okay, very good. That's everything for the vocabulary for today, but now let's go to the book. We're starting the unit 14. It's called Now I Get It. And in this unit, in this video, and the next one, we're going to be discussing the meaning of gestures and body language and discussing the rules and recognize common signs. Okay, to start, we're going to be looking at this snapshot. Popular emojis, one that we all use a lot. So we have different type of emojis that are basically emotional images that try to present different types of feeling in a picture because a picture tells more words than words. It's like a common saying that pictures tell 1,000 words. Okay, let's see some popular emojis. When we use this, it's usually when we are bored. When you look at this, it's like when you love it or you are in love. When you put this, it's I am not amused. That is not funny. When you clap, it's saying that it's a great job. When you look at this, it's oh my god, that's awful. That's really bad. When you use this, it's like you're laughing so much that you're crying. Okay. With this, you can say that something is amazing. With this, it's something is just kidding. It's a prank. It's just a prank, bro. Okay. And this one is for when you are embarrassed, and also can be like when you're flushed. And this is when your heart is breaking. What other emojis do you use frequently? You could, put it on the comments down below. It will be interesting and funny to see. Okay, let's continue. Let's see this word power. Body language. Interesting. We have these 6 images of this girl. A, B, C, D, E, F. What is this woman doing in each picture? Match each description with a picture, okay? So we have these 6 descriptions. She's scratching her head, she's biting her nails, she's rolling her eyes, she's tapping her foot, she's pulling her hair out, and she's wrinkling her nose. You need to put each image with the correct description, okay? So take your time to complete this, and then we're gonna check. Okay, you finish? Let's check. She's scratching her head. It's the letter F, this one. She's biting her nails. It's letter B, this one. She's rolling her eyes. It's letter D, this one. She's tapping her foot. It's letter A. This one. She's pulling her hair out. It's letter C. This one. And she's wrinkling her nose. It's letter E. This one. If you have those answers, very good. You are correct. Now let's go and listen to this conversation. It's pretty confusing. Interesting. It's going to be related to what we're going to be talking in the grammar today. So let's listen closely. We're going to listen to part A and B, and after part B, we're going to answer the question, what does she find unusual about the way people in North America communicate? Okay? So let's listen.
Unit 14. Now I get it. Page 93. Exercise 3. Conversation. It's pretty confusing. Part A. Listen and practice.
How was dinner with the new Bulgarian student last night? What's her name? Elena?
Yeah, Elena. It was nice. We always have a good time, but I still don't understand her very well. You see, when we offer her something to eat or drink, she nods her head up and down, but at the same time, she says no.
It might mean she wants to accept it, but she thinks it's not polite. In some countries, you have to refuse any offer first. Then the host insists and you accept it.
I don't know. It's pretty confusing.
It could mean she doesn't want anything, but she thinks it's rude to say no.
Actually, in some countries, when people move their heads up and down, it means no.
Really? Now I get it.
Page 93. Exercise 3. Part B. Now listen to Elena talk to her friend. What does she find unusual about the way people in North America communicate?
So, how are things at school, Elena?
Oh, pretty good, actually.
Do you find it easy to communicate with people?
Most of the time, yes. Although there are some things that seem strange to me. For instance, sometimes when a conversation is ending, people say, "Hey, let's get together soon." I used to say, "Okay, when?" And it always surprised people. Eventually, I realized, "Let's get together soon" is just a way of saying goodbye.
Right. It's not really an invitation at all. It's more like a way to say that you want to stay in touch.
Yeah, I know that now.
Oh wow, this is really interesting because depending on the country and the culture, everything can be different. Imagine like this situation. He is offering her to give some coke, and what she knows is that putting nodding with your head up and down means that you're saying no. So she's with the body language saying like, "Oh no, I don't want it." But what he understands is that she wants because of her nodding. Okay? It's really, really interesting. Did you get the answer for this question? What does she find unusual about the way people in North America communicate? Did you get the answer? Let's check. Well, Elena finds the way people end a conversation unusual. For example, they'll say things like, "Hey, let's get together soon." She thought it was an invitation, but it's just a way of saying goodbye. Really interesting. Okay, let's go right away to the grammar for today. It's called modal and adverbs. I think that you already know some modals and some adverbs, but let's start, reviewing a bit. Okay, so we have the modals. Or as the names indicate, it's a way to talk in a polite way that can mean different things, okay? In this case, we have the modals might or may, that means the same, could and must. Might or may means that it's probably what something means. When you say, "I might go out tomorrow," it's like, I have the possibility, yes, it's possible. Or maybe that you have the permission to do something. It's like when you ask, "May I go out with you?" You're asking in a polite way if the other person lets you. See if the other person wants to go out with you. Then we have could, that means a probability, a possibility, something that it's possible to happen. Okay? And then we have must, that means that it's yes or yes, that is what means, or that is what it is. Okay? And some examples for that is that It might or it may mean she wants to accept it. Okay, so this is also like a probability. It could mean she doesn't want anything. That is a possibility. And that must mean no. It's yes or yes. That means no. Okay? Then we have some adverbs. We have maybe, perhaps, as we saw a couple of minutes ago, that means a probability of something happening. Maybe or perhaps it means she wants to accept it. It probably means she doesn't want anything. That definitely means no. So you can say the same things by using the modals or using the adverbs. With the modals, might or may, or with the adverbs, maybe or perhaps. The same with could or probably, and the same with must and definitely. Okay? So I hope that you understand this part. It's actually really, really easy. It's just ways to say different things. Okay? If you did understand, let's try to practice this a bit. What do these gestures mean? Take turns making statements about each gesture. Okay? Use the meanings in the box for your own ideas. Okay, so we have 6 different gestures and 6 different meanings. What things you think it means with each one of them? Okay, so take your time to complete this to match these ones with these ones, and then we're gonna check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, number 1, maybe it means I can't hear you. This one, oh no, I cannot hear you. Number 2, maybe means I don't know. He doesn't look like he knows anything. Number 3 maybe means be quiet because of this gesture. Number 4 means come here by doing with the hands, like come here. Number 5 means call me. It's like putting his hand like a cell phone. And the last one, this one, that sounds crazy. It's like cuckoo, cuckoo. That's something that maybe you understand as well for the gesture. Okay, very good. Now let's go for the last thing for today, and it's a pronunciation part. We're gonna listen and practice and notice how pitch is used to express certainty or doubt. It's like you can say things in different ways in order to be certain or be uncertain. But okay, let's listen, let's pay attention.
Page 94. Exercise 5. Pronunciation. Pitch. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how pitch is used to express certainty or doubt. Do you think her gesture means no? Certain.
Definitely.
Uncertain.
Probably.
Do you understand what her gesture means? Certain.
Absolutely.
Uncertain.
Maybe.
Okay, did you notice? It's really easy. It's just the way in which you tell the things, you say the things. When you're certain about something, you all have, you have the confidence to say it. Do you think her gesture means no? It's like, oh yes, definitely. If you're not certain, it's like, well, probably. The way in which you pronounce the thing, the pitch makes you feel if you're certain or uncertain about something. We usually have it in all of the languages, so you are pretty much attuned to this. You already know this thing. Do you understand what her gesture means? Absolutely. I absolutely know what she means. Oh, well, maybe I know what she means. Maybe? Okay, that's the difference between the pitch for certain and uncertain. Okay, very good. That's been everything for this class. On the next class, we're going to be continuing with some other modals for permission, obligation, and prohibition. So I hope that you look forward for it. But that's everything for today. So see you on the next time. Bye.